The basketball addicts are back at it, taking a look at the teams that have been chosen to be the top dogs in this year's March Madness tournament. Oregon gets a 1 seed, shout out to Dylan Brooks. Kansas gets a 1 seed, no shout out for Bill Self. Virginia gets a 1 seed, shout out to Dan Glavin, who attended Virginia for 1 year but knows nothing about college basketball. That's why he's not on this show. And no shout out for North Carolina, because we don't like North Carolina. All right, now, because you guys are our experts, we're going to get your picks up on the screen so we can pick, poke, and prod at your prognostication capabilities.
Your alliteration game is on point.
I was looking for one more P word, but since I split it off the top of the dome, it was like,
that's why I said your alliteration game was on point.
Ooh, well played, well played. All right, Will
Didn't see that coming.
Let's go. The board is up. Check it out. Here's who they got. Amy Audibert managedly somehow picked Miami, the school she attended, to end up in the Final Four. Tariq has Kentucky, of course, because the love affair with him and those Kentucky players continues to rage on, including Jamal Murray. And Will Strickland with West Virginia, the Mountaineers.
I want to see Huggy Bear either put on the old pimp suit from Cincinnati and stop dressing like he went to the student's bookstore to get his vest and stuff. What's up with that? Dress like a coach, Bob.
All right, well, can I just
But, I mean, it's working.
Wait, Amy, wait,
Final Four, so let him wear his vest.
Stop, Amy.
Press
broken,
Virginia.
no fix it.
Let me investigate this Miami pick, because that's you going out on the limb here. Tell me something about your alma mater that should convince or sell me as to why they would be in the Final Four.
I think they have an incredible backcourt. I think A-Rod, Angel Rodriguez is the new A-Rod down in Coral Gables. He really is. I mean, he's great. And you look at Sheldon is awesome. He's an awesome two-guard, and Davon Reed. The three of them are so explosive. They work well together. We've seen different guys step up in different games, and it's not always that one go-to. And then that other guy, Jim Larinaga, who 10th anniversary. Yeah, but don't discredit the coach. Don't discredit a tournament coach, because that's a huge deal. And that is a guy who has a very veteran squad, plus a 7-foot Jakiri inside. I mean, I'm not just saying that, and I'm going to throw it up here, but I'm not just saying it because I went there. I really believe that if they're going to do it, this is their year to do it. And I'm doing it.
You know what? I agree with that pick only because they beat quality teams in the ACC. They beat Notre Dame twice. They beat a non-conference schedule that was tough. And they really beat some really quality teams.
Virginia.
They beat Virginia.
I mean,
so they have a chance in a veteran backcourt.
Yeah.
Jim Larinaga.
Plus they're 7-footer. Don't you know, there's one stat that's not on the box score, and I wish it could be, and that was change or altering shots. Because just because you don't come up with the block, it doesn't mean you haven't stepped up and done a job. I think
we talk more about Miami than we'll ever talk about them again.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Not if they win the national championship, though.
Okay, here we go now. I got to throw something out there. Tariq, you're watching these games, scouting these kids. Tell me, does this field seem weak to you as compared to years past in the NCAA?
I don't think so. I don't want to say it's weak. I would say that there's always parity every year, but even more parity. I don't think there's that one team which is head and shoulders above the rest.
No one held the #1 spot in college basketball for more than a couple weeks.
Absolutely. And, you know, talk about my Final Four picks.
Yes.
You talk about all guys that have Hall of Fame coaches behind them.
Yes.
Amy, great point about you need coaching at this level. You could get maybe the first round, get to the second, maybe, but as you move forward, you want experience. You talk about Tom Izzo, you talk about Bill Self,
H to the
all
Izzo.
these guys, you know, that's an X factor, no doubt about that.
Okay, cool.
It's one of the strongest tournaments, actually, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Because the parity gives it this feel of college basketball again. The one-and-dones have kind of created this situation where a veteran team like Miami can step up and come out of the woodworks, like a team like West Virginia, or even Virginia with Tony Bennett down there playing defense. So you'll see those guys, the usual suspects, doing their thing. But I think that you're going to see some teams that you don't think about. They're going to make their names in this tournament this year.
Now I need a Cinderella, because that's always the story with this tournament. Some team comes out of nowhere and shocks people. I want your Cinderella, Tariq.
Dayton Flyers.
Dayton Flyers.
Oh, because of Daishan Pierre. That's
Daishan Pierre.
Pierre. Oh, wait, defend the call.
Whitby, Ontario, stand up. That being said,
Wow. I'll let you go last. You're going last.
They've been there before. They surprised some people last year. Pierre's back in the mix, but you know they're well tested in the A10. They're a legit team. They've proven it over the years, especially last year. And
all right,
Daishan Pierre.
Case closed for Daishan Pierre and the Dayton Flyers. Will Strickland, your Cinderella.
With apologies to Temple, with apologies to Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa, you hating on them?
With apologies to even Seton Hall. I'm going to go with Kevin Ollie's UConn Huskies.
Yep.
They always play games like this. They come out of nowhere when 4 overtime games in the tournament. somehow, some way, he finds a way to help this team win. UConn, it sounds crazy, could be the upset team in this
Audibert,
tournament.
your Cinderella.
All right, I'm going true Cinderella. I'm going to 5-12, and I'm going Chattanooga.
Wow.
Mox.
Big
I'll
statement.
tell you why. They went and beat Dayton this year at Dayton. That's one of the most arguably
attack my pick like
hardest
that.
road games to win in the
Yep.
country. And these guys, and I know they've had 3 wins in 2016. Everyone's going to say they play in the Southern Conference. I get it. But you have to understand there are 7 guys on that team that are juniors, redshirt juniors, or seniors who have won a combined 70 games in the last 3 years. They are poised. They are veterans. They are ready to play. And their head coach, Matt McCall, his first year down there, but he was under Billy Donovan at Florida for years.
Damn.
He's a tournament coach.
She got
with
reasons.
experience.
She got
I'm
reasons on
telling
reasons
you,
on reasons.
I want to
No
see
doubt.
the Kentucky-Indiana.
Okay,
but I
hold on,
think Chattanooga's
wait.
gonna beat
We have to
Indiana.
tweak some other stuff in this. I'll just quickly tell you who my Cinderella team is. Shaka Smart in Texas. I feel like he's going to be able to take them to at least the Sweet 16, but we'll find out soon enough. But let's talk about something else. Someone who won't be in the tournament. The arguably #1 overall pick, Benjamin Simmons, did not qualify with his LSU Tigers to make the tournament, and they decided not to even enter the NIT. Odd enough. He can't keep himself academically eligible for the Wooden Award, and people are now starting to nitpick, calling him a paper tiger. Are we buying the downfall of Ben Simmons and the possibility that a guy like Ingram could possibly steal his thunder and come up with the #1 pick? Tariq Sbiet.
I'm absolutely selling that.
Thank you, Sweets
mean-
Watson. I hope you're listening.
Game speaks. Look at the numbers that he's putting up.
Yes.
That's one.
Okay.
2, I mean, the guy is 6'10" playmaker.
Yep.
Sure, you can knock the lack of shooting ability, but outside of that, defensive versatility, offensively, he can create for himself and for others. The guy's the #1 pick, let's be honest. And the GM and the ownership that doesn't select him, I think they're going to be scratching their head for years to come.
Here's the only way I feel he's not #1 is if Portland gets the #1 pick, okay? Because they seem to just give away #1 picks left, right, center. But are you buying this, Will Strickland?
No, it's an easy bake narrative that's created on social media and people who only watch 2 games.
I had
and
this
play it all
exact same
year.
argument in our production meeting with Sweets Watson.
It happens, and we'll probably have that same argument this weekend.
Okay, I'm not even going to let you answer this question because we're limited with time, and we got to ask Tariq because, well, first off, I'll start with you guys. Any Canadians of note for you guys that you want to point out there that are in this tournament?
Yeah, Chris Boucher from Oregon. I think he's the X factor there. The whole country's watching Brooks and Crooks. That's what or Cooks. Sorry, that's what I call him. But he's the X factor. He's a 6'10". He can shoot a 3. He can stretch the defense. I think he's exciting. They're a #1 seed. They are a legit Final Four team, and I think that he's a guy that from Montreal can step up and do big things. And he's also the leading shot blocker in the country. I think he's 106.
Well, we want to send shout-outs to Jamal Murray, of course, Dylan Brooks, and Kyle Wiltshire, who, believe it or not, is still playing college basketball. We talked about Daishan Pierre a little earlier, so now it's time to lean on our high school and college basketball expert, Tariq. Give us some names that we may not already be aware of. You can't say Daishan Pierre again.
Oh, I was gonna say Jamal Murray.
Well, you can't.
Everybody
now.
knows about him.
Come on, if you watch TSN, you know Jamal
Well,
Murray.
listen, I think Amy brought up a great point in Montreal's Chris Boucher. I think he's the biggest NBA prospect that no one really talks about. He's had an interesting past coming out of Montreal, an unknown name, junior college player of the year, a guy that's versatile, and the national program's looking at him right now.
Yeah.
At a 6'10" with mobility and the ability to shoot that basketball and block shots. He's the biggest sleeper and
Okay.
could build his NBA stock.
All right,
this tournament.
So that wraps up our Canadian insight. I want to thank you guys, of course. Lots of great insight. Amy, you stunned it on them right there. But we got to go to break, and we're going to show you someone who does not stunt on them. But when we return, we'll be talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Did I say it right?
Yeah, it was great. I like it.
Yeah? Okay, good. But first, before we go to break, check this out. Boing! The best work of one young Rivers. So fitting.